Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. This is Gray's Guitars. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about Craigslist scams. I did one of these a while back. This is a newer one, a more realistic one that I was able to find. So I thought we would just go over it briefly to kind of discuss what to look out for in this new style of Craigslist scam. Obviously, you have that WhatsApp scam going around, but if you're still buying stuff off of Craigslist like I am from time to time, yeah, it gets kind of ridiculous. So, right here, nothing major red flag really in the post. So it says a Gibson Electric Memphis ES 335 guitar. They're asking $1,400. And then you got 4 pictures in here. You know, everything. I'll pull up the pictures. Looks like it's in really good condition. Might be a small scratch on the headstock, but nothing major, you know, checkpoint and everything. And then if we scroll down, it says Gibson Electric Memphis ES 335 guitar is in a very good condition down the neck. It had a very light use, home only through the years, no buzzing or dead spots, comes with carrier bag case. So they say it comes with a case. They're talking about buzzing or dead spots. That is guitar terminology. So they do know their stuff a little bit, or either that or they just stole this from somebody else's post. Now, while I wasn't able to find this exact post by just copying the text that's within the post, and then we do the Google search. Right here. Here it comes up a second time. And here's the same exact post, different town, different state. You know, basically same exact thing, nothing majorly different. Here we're only getting 3 pictures in this one as opposed to 4. But there you go. Now, I initially emailed this person because, for those of you that do not know guitar prices, $1,400 for a used Gibson ES 335, pretty solid. Pretty solid, especially if we go to shopping here. Brand new, Sweetwater's got one for $3,500. Used, you know, $2,700. Here's a studio version, so that's a stripped down version. Still more expensive. Here's one for $2,500. That's a fake. There's a $3,600. $2,000. You don't really see anything, you know, $4,000 for the Blueberry Burst. Very popular finish. Here's that, you know, like a Dave Grohl style to a certain extent. Those get pretty expensive. F-holes are wrong on that one. Color spot on though. But $1,400 rather for an ES 335 is a great price. I mean, if you find one for that price, pick it up. It's not going to last long. And to the normal average Joe, they think, you know, somebody like myself, I think, oh, you know, maybe they're just trying to get rid of it. They want to sell it fairly quickly. You know, that's definitely a fair price. They're not giving it away. You know, if it said like $300 to $500, I'd definitely be questioning, 1, if it's a real guitar, and 2, I'd think it's a scam. Unless they had no idea. I mean, it takes like all of, 2 seconds to pull up information on a guitar into Google search these days. So if your local garage sale person is too lazy to do that and you can buy a Gibson for $200, by all means, have at it. But it's a price in a description where it's like, yeah, that seems legit. So I did go ahead and email the person, and me being the cheapskate that I am, always trying to get that best deal, I'm like, hey, would you take $1,000 for it? Me expecting him to fire back at like $1,200, or just say no from at $1,400. In which case, if this was actually real, I probably would have bought it anyway. Now, the response I did, I'm not going to show you my actual email here because I don't want you seeing. I don't really care if you see my email address. It's one of my personal ones, but there's some location-based things in there that I really don't want to show you at this present point in time. So it says, so basically I said, would you take $1,000 for it? And some people argue, you know, you negotiate in person. That's a better deal. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It depends. So I just threw an offer out there. You know, never hurts to ask. But when you're in person and you have cash physically in your hand, sometimes they work with you a little bit more. So that's a little fun fact for you. So he said, still available. That was the response. It wasn't, I'll take $1,000. Sorry, I'm firm at $1,400. It was still available. So at that point, I was like, okay, that's a little bit of a red flag. So I kind of put the same message in there again. I was like, so are you willing to take $1,000 for it? And he was like, what's your location? And then I just said the city. I didn't give a specific address. Never give out your entire specific address. 9 out of 10, it doesn't matter. But just if you want to do it, give a city or give a town nearby. You don't have to give your specific address unless you know it's 100% legit and you're going to meet up with this person or have them come to your house. I definitely prefer, in most situations, meeting in public areas. If you want someone to come to your house, not the end of the world. Not a bad idea to bring somebody with you just to have a backup. But meeting at your local store, even like near your local police station. A lot of police stations now are perfectly fine with these types of meetups there. You just let them know ahead of time that you're coming down and you're gonna, this is the situation. And most people don't care. But then he said, okay, this is where like the super red flag pops up. It says, okay, I can mail it to you. I'm 69. I got this guitar thinking my son be more interested, but he didn't hardly play it. And it's just laying here. So this sounds like somebody that probably English is not their first language. Not immediately a red flag, but why we're getting this backstory for this seems to be completely irrelevant. All I want is to give it out to someone still knows the value of it. This guitar was perfectly well like new. What's your phone number? We can text and go from there. So first and foremost, a 69-year-old person would most likely want a phone call. If they were going that route, they would either continue with the email or they would want a phone call. Not all people that age, aren't tech savvy, but typically it's a phone call. Most people are like, all right, let's not deal with this email nonsense. Let's not deal with this texting nonsense. Just give me a phone call. The backstory, not necessary. Mailing it to me when, I am like several hours away from it. I mean, yeah, it's a long drive compared to where I am. If I were to go get this, but you're talking like a 4 or 5 hour. It's a day trip basically, 4 or 5 hour drive. It's a day trip, but definitely worth it. You go to a new town you've never seen before, and get a guitar for a really really good price. But I didn't need it mailed. Like the second they say they're gonna mail you something and they want your phone number to text you. Well, not necessarily the texting thing. The texting thing sometimes. Make sure it's your local area code. Typically, if it's an area code you're not familiar with, that most likely a scam. But this is going to be one of those things where they're like, all right, what's your information, blah, blah, blah. Send me the money, and I'll get it mailed to you. And they'll mail you something, but it's probably going to be like a picture of the guitar. Like a Xeroxed copy, crappy picture of the guitar. So it's just something to watch out for because, up until this point, not a lot of red flag. A couple here and there, a little bit could be considered a red flag, but it wasn't until I physically contacted this person. Searching it, to see it in Savannah, where is this in Savannah? What state is that in? Tennessee? Yeah, Tennessee. And then, you get that other address in there as well, completely different state. So this is definitely a scammer. So first and foremost, search the text of the content. See if it pops up somewhere. If it doesn't, just shoot them an email. And then if it's something like that, we'll mail it to you, blah, 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 then more or less that's probably going to be a scam. Another thing is a lot of people, where you hit the reply section, they put their phone numbers on here now. So, a lot of people like myself, I have an old email on my Craigslist account and I never, bothered to hook it up to my new one or create a new one. And I don't always look at that email all the time. So most people know that. We'll put a phone number on there and then you just call the person. Either text the person or you call the person. There's options here where it says text only or call, whatever. If you're anxious, you don't like physically talking to people. You can do that as well. But typically, this is going to have a phone number. No phone number, not always a red flag, but it can be. But as I said, reach out to the person via email, look for the signs that it's a red flag, and then if it is, do not give these people their money. If anybody said, this is supposed to be a local thing. Craigslist is specifically for local cities, local towns. So don't go out there giving people your money when they say they're going to ship you something. It's not Facebook Marketplace. It's not eBay. It's not Reverb. It ain't, Guitar Center. It's Craigslist. This is where you get in your car, you drive to that location, and then bada bing, bada boom, you pick up your instrument or your item, and then, make sure everything checks out, give them the money, move on with your life. So this is just a quick little video, well, a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. But that's pretty much the gist of it. So we're going to be titling this, I don't know, maybe New Craigslist Scam, so something along those lines. But my name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. This is Gray's Guitars. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a comment what you want to see for future music and guitar-related content. Yet again, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.